Thank you, Mayor. So tonight I want to take a moment to talk about something that I think needs to be addressed. We all wear many hats in our lives: spouse, parent, coworker, volunteer, and for those of us on this dais, representative. Those hats help shape our lives and experiences, but none of them alone fully defines us. In addition, as Councilmember Vigil reminds us, each of us is one voice out of 9. We work together to discuss and argue points. We don't always agree, and that's okay. It's a good thing because it helps us understand each other's point of view and gets us to decisions that are in the best interest of the city as a whole. Every one of us on this council ran for office because we care greatly about this city. We each bring our own expertise and background. Councilmember Phillips is an attorney with a passion for kids who reminds us about our future. Councilmember Goodman is a former electrician who understands building codes when we start to talk about compliance. Mayor Pro Tem Montoya understands the human element of grief from his work. Councilmember Vigil brings his tax and real estate expertise to our discussions. Mayor Williams has over 20 years of small business experience, and Councilmember Nizam is currently a small business owner in our city. Councilmember Ziegelbaum reminds us that he is a numbers person, and he helps us make sure the numbers make sense. Councilmember Makowski is a police officer who helps us focus on making sure our city is safe. And I am a licensed professional engineer with technical experience to help us understand our growth. Individually, we are experts in our areas, but as a whole, we are more effective as a council. Of course, I took concerns of a potential conflict of interest related to oil and gas very seriously. So I spoke with the city attorney, Ms. Emmerich. I think it would be helpful for her to state the city's legal position on this.
Mayor and Council, prior to the time that the issues related to oil and gas came to the Council, Councilmember Kuhlman informed me that she worked for Noble, I'm not sure the full title, oil and gas company.
Noble Energy.
Noble Energy. And Noble specifically does not own any interests, Councilmember Kuhlman informed me, mineral interests in the city of Thornton. And in fact, there aren't any mineral interests in the city of Thornton growth area. And so in light of those two factors, I took that into account in looking at our city charter and our city code. The city charter provides that no member of council shall vote on any question in which the member has a financial interest. And specifically, that would be a concern if her employer had mineral interests in Thornton that her employer might benefit from, or that might influence her employment. But that is not the case. In addition to the charter, there is a provision in the city code that no city council member shall participate in any matter that they have a conflict of interest in. And an interest is defined as a pecuniary, property, or commercial interest, the primary significance of which is economic gain or the avoidance of economic loss. And particularly applying that, again in this case, Councilmember Kuhlman or her employer do not have an opportunity for economic gain or the avoidance of economic loss because her company, her employer, does not own any mineral interests, and she does not individually own any mineral interests in the city of Thornton. And so for that reason, there is not a conflict of interest that exists under our city charter or under our city code.
Thank you, Ms. Emmerich. So as she mentioned, I spoke with her last year when several citizens had called for me to remove myself from any discussion or vote related to oil and gas because they believed I had a conflict. My conversation with Ms. Emmerich confirming that there was no conflict happened well before any vote on staff direction related to this activity was taken. I also understand that she's made this clear to members of the community who have continued to question it. For every hat that I wear, I take my responsibilities very seriously. I have an expertise and background in energy development that I bring to the table, but I'm wearing my representative hat for these discussions. I'm working collaboratively with my fellow council members and ensuring that we do things the right way for our city. It is disappointing to me that a group of citizens have decided that I should be excluded from these discussions because they disagree with the legal analysis of the city attorney. And it is disappointing to me that this group seeks to spend thousands of dollars in taxpayer funding to further their personal agenda. It's my hope that the legal analysis regarding conflicts of interest will allow us to put this debate aside and get back to the work that really matters for our city. I sincerely appreciate the opportunity to serve on this council, and I appreciate your time this evening. Thank you.
Councilmember Matkowski.
No comment, ma'am.